the newest animated film of the DC Universe is out, and it is Teen Titans, the Judas Contract. Now, what exactly is the Judas Contract? Well, if you're an old school fan of Teen Titans back in the vintage comics and stuff like that, there was a whole story run on this, and it introduced a new character into the series named Tara. Okay? She was able to use her abilities to fucking make, rocks fly and dig up the earth and shit like that, just like that. Either way, the comic book and the movie are almost one and the same. And how is that exactly? Well, you're about to find out on this episode of Comic Book Review, because it's all about Teen Titans, the Judas Contract, and it starts right now. Adventurous ones to an all-new episode of the Comic Book Review, brought to you by Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 in theaters May 5th. We cannot wait to see that. It's going to be awesome as hell, and I love the fact that Baby Groot being in it. I am Groot! It's like, oh boy. Especially when he runs away with that bomb. Oh boy. Either way, I'm your host as always, Joseph Michaels, the Adventurous Joe, and then on this show, we don't just review comic books, we review comic book related things. So for instance, when we review The Walking Dead, we're gonna be reviewing it on here. Not TV review, even though it's on TV and stuff, but because it's a comic book turned into a TV thing and stuff, it will be reviewed on this show. Either way, that's what we do on here. We don't just review comic books anymore, we review comic book related things. Movies, TV shows, anything in between. And on this episode, it's all about the newest animated film from DC and Warner Brothers, known as Teen Titans, the Judas Contract. Okay, what exactly is the Judas Contract, you ask? Well, apparently Brother Blood, a very old enemy of the Titans and stuff, has a cult following going on and stuff. And it turns out he wants to suck up all the powers of the superhumans and stuff and gain this unbelievable, invincible strength and shit. Okay? Now, he wants the Teen Titans to be a part of this little excursion because he plans to use all their abilities to do this. Okay? Now, the reason why it's called the Judas Contract is because, like Jesus being betrayed by one of his own, okay, that's what this is called, why it's called the Judas Contract. There is a traitor amongst the Titans. So who exactly is the traitor, you ask? Why, none other than the new character, Tara. She is secretly Deathstroke's little buddy, so to speak, or a little romantic interest kind of person. Because at one point she even tries to seduce Deathstroke after they captured Robin, aka Damian Wayne, and she tries to seduce him. I mean, she's wearing this sexy negligee and shit, and here he's an older man and shit. He's got gray beard, gray hair, and she's trying to seduce him. I mean, this is a teenage woman, right? Wow. That's a little off the books there, buddy. Either way, she is practically the Judas of it all. Okay, she betrays the Titans in many ways. She don't want to get close to them and stuff because she hates them with a passion and shit. But that's because of Deathstroke's influence. Now, when she and Beast Boy start actually getting together on things and stuff, she really don't want to betray them anymore, but then she just does it anyway. Because Deathstroke is promising her all this great shit. When this is all over with, we'll go away together and be together like you want and everything else in between. So she listens to this bullshit. And she turns her back on the Titans. But when Dick Grayson finds out Nightwing, aka Nightwing in this and stuff, after him and Starfire got their own place together and everything, okay, he comes home to find Deathstroke there, and Deathstroke and him get into it, and Deathstroke thinks he killed him, okay, when he shoots him point blank on the dock and shit after he's, a lengthy chase and everything. Nightwing falls into the water, and that's the end of it, apparently. Nope, Nightwing's still alive, but it turns out he took this wooden thing and put it in there like a bulletproof vest kind of thing, and threw it down. Then he realized something's happening to the Titans, and he's got to get back to Titan Tower, okay? Just like in the comic book, the original vintage comic book storyline of the Judas contract, it played out the same way. Even up to when Tara is taking on Deathstroke herself and brings the whole damn building down around her and shit and kills herself. Even up to the point where Beast Boy is holding her in the end and stuff, and she wakes to see him holding her and stuff, and smiles, and then she just like dies in his arms, and you can see the emotion on Beast Boy's face and stuff. And he's talking to Kevin Smith, of all people, on his own podcast thing or whatever, radio show. And slowly but surely, the Titans are coming around to being back to normal again and stuff. Minus the fact that Tara is no longer with them. Okay? So either way, the Judas contract plays exactly like the original comic book storyline did. Minus the fact that Damian Wayne was not part of that storyline and stuff, because it was all revolving around Nightwing and Starfire and so on and so forth. That's how it played out. Either way, our final judgment for the Teen Titans, the Judas contract, is going to be an 8 out of 10. Now, it played out a lot differently than I thought it would and stuff, but at the same time, it still was practically the comic book, the vintage comic book story brought to life in a new light. And thumbs up, 2 thumbs up. It was great. I still enjoyed it, even though it's only an hour and something long. It still was a great thing, a great animated film. The characterizations were great, and not to mention Miguel Ferrer. This was actually before NCIS Los Angeles and stuff, before his death. This is actually the last thing he did before he died. Okay, so rest in peace, my friend. You know, it was good to hear your voice as Deathstroke. We'll all miss you, every one of us. And either way, high recommendations. Check out Teen Titans, the Judas contract for yourself. It's available now on Blu-ray, DVD, pay-per-view. You can order it on there and stuff like that. Either way, it's available. Check it out for yourselves. And that's it. Let us know your thoughts down in the comment section down below if you've already seen it. Because that's it for this episode of the Comic Book Review. What are your thoughts on the Teen Titans Judas contract? Have you been taking notes? Did you actually read the vintage comic storyline first before ever actually seeing this film? Or did you decide, hey, I've got this book. I'm going to go back and do this and make note comparisons? Let us know what you did down in the comment section down below. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel if you're new, leave your comments, and don't forget to hit the bell icon in the subscriber button so you know if and when our newest episode of the Adventurous Joe Show or any of our review shows or any of our other shows goes up on the air. You'll be the first ones to see it, first ones to comment on it, everything else in between. And that's it for this episode of the Comic Book Review Show. I have been your host, as always, Joseph Michaels, the Adventurous Joe. And I'll see you all next time on the next new comic book review. Until then, my adventurous ones, peace out. May the Force be with every single one of you. Happy comic book reading to all of you. We'll see y'all next time. Later.